So first, introduce yourself. So this is the Angel Talk, and so I am Hannah, one of the hosts today, and I have on.
I'm Faith. I am the sewing manager here at Angel Competition Bikinis. I've been here for about 3 years officially. Last week. What kind of questions we got? I'm used to being in production. So it's just like I'm used to being behind the scenes.
Well, we're happy to have you over here. And so just tell us, how did you get started ACB? Like, how did you find this job?
Okay, yeah. So I actually found it online on Indeed looking for a job. But
Same. I did mine as well.
Okay, yeah, I love Indeed. It's such a good platform for finding like good candidates too, I feel like.
Yeah, that's how we get a lot of our
It
amazing
is.
people here that work.
Because now I do the hiring. So I'm like, oh, this is how I got this job. But so I got it. I found it on Indeed, and my boyfriend, well, at the time, he bought me like a sewing machine because I was watching so much Project Runway, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, I want to make my own clothes. So like he bought me a sewing machine one time, and then that's how I started sewing.
Yeah.
My grandma used to be a seamstress too. And so it was just kind of in my blood.
Yeah, well, that's always a good place to start.
Yes.
And Project Runway is so like motivating for anyone to see those designs and
it is.
Get
motivated. I know. I'll just like binge watch a whole season.
Yeah, it's so easy to do. All those design shows are so inspiring.
I know. Yeah. And so I was like, this is something like I always wanted to do, and it sounded familiar to me too. Angel Competition Bikinis and. Me and Caitlin, the Crystal Queen here.
Who recently had a podcast a few weeks back.
Yeah, talking about all the crystal stuff. Yeah. Me and her worked together as waitresses together.
That's so wild.
I know. We were service together, and I remember her talking about this place, and I was like, oh man, that sounds cool. She's like, I do all the rhinestones and stuff. And I'm like, wow, like what a job.
Yeah.
And so then I found it on Indeed, and I was like, okay, I'm like, let me apply. And then I'm like, hey, I know Caitlin. And they're like, what? And Caitlin's like, you applied? You didn't tell me? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, well, I remember when you told me that, like, what are the chances? Like, this world is so small, but once you're in it, like, there's so many people in this niche world. Like, when I started, I didn't know anything about bodybuilding. Did you know anything about bodybuilding when you started?
No, like, just what I saw on the media, like TV, like, stuff like that. Real Housewives.
Yeah, learn all the stuff from Real Housewives. A good place to start.
Learn all the life lessons from Real Housewives.
Okay, so let's talk about like your different, what exactly you do on an everyday basis. So you mentioned that you are the sewing manager. So what does that entail?
So I just make sure all our seamstresses are nice and trained up on our quality and everything that we you guys work so hard for, like our athletes. Like I just make sure that they're gonna get like the perfect suit. So I just oversee that, you know.
Consistency is a big value of ours, and so
exactly
having a manager awesome as yourselves ensures that everyone gets a perfect suit every single time.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Just a lot of quality check-in. I bring out the new products. So
so Faith is responsible of the molded cup. So the reason why we have this beautiful molded cup is because of Faith and Caitlin. They've worked so hard perfecting this design, and it's evolved in just the short amount of time it's been out too.
It really has. Yeah, we're already on like a new level of it. I feel like, you know, we're just improving every month.
Oh yeah, and I know like we're eventually going to get rid of this like princess seam, and so it's really interesting to walk into production and see these changes happening. So we're always growing and trying to be better than we were yesterday, which I know is a big value of ours.
That's a big value of ours.
Yes, we're constantly growing.
I notice it too. I feel like every day I notice it here. Yeah. Everybody's always going above and beyond, where, you know, if we see something that like, hey, that's not top-notch quality, we're like, send it back.
Oh yeah, and we do a lot of like in-stage like perfections and making sure like if we notice an error, we don't want you to notice the error. So every suit goes through some kind of quality check and ensuring and
multiple quality checks. Before it even gets to you.
Yeah, because like you mentioned, they've worked so hard, and so we want to make sure the suit is their dream suit. Like, this is exactly what they ordered.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, if I'm gonna wear it, like, it better be looking good.
So let's talk about. So we said that we wanted it to fit perfectly. It's their dream suit. So what would you recommend if when they get the suit and they are like a few weeks out and it doesn't fit them? Like, do you turn it back? Do you do the alteration yourself? Like, there's still time.
When it comes to like the glute fit, if it's feeling like it's a little too tight or if it's a little too loose, two different things. If it's a little too tight, odds are it's not. You just kind of want to adjust it on your body, get it sitting exactly where you think it needs to be sitting. Do a little twist, look at it at every angle. Make sure that it's like, and if you're still not feeling confident in that, too tight maybe, you can take it off, give it a nice little stretch, and then put it back on, and that'll do it.
That'll do it.
So
that'd be your first step.
That's my first step. If it's too tight,
it's too tight. So if it's still too tight, or even if it's too loose, how does one like send it back for alterations?
Yeah, we do free alterations. So you send those back and tell us exactly how you think it's fitting. A lot of people write handwritten notes, which I like to get.
Which helps a lot.
It does
help. It
help.
helps the seamstresses know exactly how you want it to fit. And so I know when people order their suits, they always put like how much they're wanting to lose, but sometimes they really overestimate or really underestimate, which it usually is the latter. They usually lose more than they're expecting, so it can all affect the suit. Because so as Faith has mentioned, like they hand cut all the suits, and so it's custom to the person.
When it comes to the custom fit and everything, we were talking about this earlier, how when you're ordering a custom suit, you're not exactly sure like the in-between size. That like if you're like, oh, I might want a pro, like a mix between a pro and a micro. I always suggest ordering a posing suit first. Always order a posing suit first, see what our cuts feel like and look like on you, and then we can go from there and take down like anything you need from that,
that's a good starting point.
We need like a base. It's hard to like just be like, this is what I want and then here's measurements. We kind of need like, well, this is our base pattern and then this is what you want now.
And that's a good point to bring up, because the pro and micro, so the micro is our smallest cut, while the pro is what a lot of athletes go towards.
It's the most popular.
Yes, it's definitely the most popular and just so flattering on your glutes. And we're constantly evolving like the shape and everything to make sure that
we are. That's also a hard thing too with custom cuts. I feel like we always try to let people know if our cuts do change, like customers, we always try to be like, hey, this might be like a little different. But with everything being like so handmade, like from the cutting to the sewing to the crystals, literally everything. Like there's going to be little variations and like each time.
Sequin fabric will have a different stretch than the other fabric, and same
velvet
with the
fabric.
Yes, and like the posing suit, like so. In my hands right now, I have a micro and pro cut, and like they're very similar, but the micro is a lot smaller. And so, as Faith mentioned, having a practice suit really helps that, and just see where it fits. Because just because you've worn a micro or a pro scoop from another company does not mean it translates. We have our own sizing, and so it's really important to get that posing suit and try it on to make sure you're happy. And then, as Faith mentioned, like put it in the notes or even do a handwritten note and be like, okay, I really love the pro scoop, but I just want it to be a little thinner. I don't want it to be as thin as the micro, but I want that in between, and we can make that cut for you.
And I'm involved in all the custom cutting emails as well. So whenever a request does come through, I'm able to be like, yeah, that sounds right. Or if it doesn't, like I can help you figure out what the right cut
And
is.
then having that picture really helps as
Love
well.
getting pictures. Yes. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. I love sending pictures if you have issues with your suit or anything. A visual always helps.
Yeah.
It helps me like know what
Everybody's glutes are different. Same with the
yes.
tops. Like every person's different, and so it just really the picture does help, so we can make sure that it looks flawless on you on stage.
Yes.
Okay, so now we've talked about the different alterations like before ahead time, but let's say so you try on a suit 2 weeks before, it fits perfectly, but it's the night before your competition, you try it on and it's way too baggy. What do you do?
Okay. So for like quick alteration?
Yeah, like
Okay,
quick alterations.
For sure. So it's already, I'm going to grab this.
Yes. I'll grab one too.
There's always alteration tabs on the back of your suit. And so we usually leave about 2 inches right there. That's usually enough for the, fluctuating there. But what I like to do, if you need to alter this yourself, always go from the back of the suit. You don't want to go from the front because you don't want to risk damaging the front of your suit.
That's a good point, 'cause
we do
that's
not
what's
want that.
going to be shown. Like you're not going to see the inside of the suit. You're going to see the behind the suit.
Yeah. So you definitely want to go in on the back of your suit with a seam ripper, and then get up underneath those threads, and then get out. And then you're going to pull the alteration tab. And I don't know if this is hard to follow, but you're going to pull the alteration tab, and then you're going to go under it and get the rest of those threads, and then you'll pull it apart. That's how you do not damage the suit.
Yeah, and I know, so this past weekend at the Natural Fit Show, I was with Deb, who was competing, and I didn't have to do any alterations at anyone's suits except for hers. And so I altered her suit, but after listening to you and Claire, I felt more confident going in, and so I did exactly what you said. So go for the back and seam rip, and then seam rip is a little scary because there's such a short blade.
Be careful.
Yeah, be very careful, or you'll accidentally cut yourself, which you don't want to get that blood on a suit.
Unless it's a red suit.
Unless it's a red suit, then you're a little safer. But yeah, and it's because I'm not a seamstress. I'm the marketing side. Like, I consider myself a creative person, but not that kind of creativity. Like, sewing is not my strength. So I was like,
you can do it if you wanted to, though.
Oh, thank you. I was like, I had faith in Claire. In the back of my mind, I was like, okay, what do I do? I'm like, okay, I've got this. So having those tips of going from the back and making sure, like, so you can easily. You don't see the mistakes.
Yeah, that would be the worst. You're trying to alter your suit and then you stab a hole in it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially like when you're doing your back pose and you have that booty popping. Like,
yes,
if you have a hole,
that's the other thing. With securing it on afterwards. I know you're not gonna get this flat, perfect straight stitch like you do with a sewing machine. But what I would do is just make sure you're tacking down both of the sides of that alteration tab, and then give it a little pull and make sure it's not going to bust on you.
I tied it so many times, and I was pulling and I was like, oh my goodness, if her suit falls off on stage, like, it's going to all be my fault.
We do not want that.
No, so definitely like having it super secure.
Yes.
And like Faith mentioned, if you have time that 2 weeks, or whenever you try it on and you're not confident in it, you can, even before you send pictures and to either customer service, and Meredith can send it our way and send it to the amazing Faith, so she can just see how it's fitting and we can confirm or not if you need to adjust it, because usually it's just maybe just needs a little, but since your weight is always fluctuating,
you want to feel confident in it.
Oh yeah.
So send it back if you have the time. We have a whole thing just for alterations.
Yes, we do. We have a whole team on it. Yeah.
Confident. Like, send it back.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it's super. I mean, like I said, I'm not a seamstress, and I did it, but like, you don't want to have that extra stress on you. Like, I know Deb has more sewing knowledge than I do, but she was like, I do not want to touch my suit. I was like, okay, so I'm doing it. I know you put it on me, so it's like, okay, that's a lot of pressure. But like, if you don't have someone that goes with you to the shows, like that's a lot of extra pressure. And so make sure you try it on like the 2 weeks before, because how long does the alteration usually take from once they send it and then you send it back to them? Like, how long is that process?
I don't know, probably about a week now.
A week. Okay. So like, make sure you try it on like 2 to 3 weeks before, so you make sure that you actually get the suit in time.
Yes.
Because that would be the worst. So making sure you prepare in time.
Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to, like, I know everybody say prepare, but like I know sometimes that is hard, but you know, better safe than sorry with things like that.
Definitely. Is there any other tips that you would give to our athletes?
I'm not sure. I just know that athletes, you're always working so hard to like get where you're at, and I just like, don't ever doubt yourself. You know, you're gorgeous. You've done such hard work. Like, you look amazing in that suit. Like, I just like,
you've done all the hard work.
I feel like that's all I see. That's what I see most is doubt. People doubting themselves a little bit, and then it's
we'll be your hype people. Like, just send us a picture and we'll hype you up.
Yes, 100%.
Get outside your head and like just go on that stage and own it. And this suit is just to add to your confidence. Yeah, you've done all the hard work. Yeah, you've done the hard work. Now you just need the gorgeous suit to go with it and to make it complete.
Oh yeah, also with that, where I'm working on getting some new fabric going up in here. So if anybody wanted to send out like their like favorite colors or
or any colors that we currently don't have that you would love to see. Because I know like we recently like launched the mattes. And so those are really eye-popping. I really love those on the suits because it really makes the color pop. I know. What's your color matte right now?
My favorite color matte? I think it's the aqua one.
Ooh, that's really good. I like the teal. I love how dark it is.
That teal is very pretty.
I did wear the matte lilac on the fashion show stage.
So like, love that
too. I know. It's so pretty. I actually wore that this weekend on the stage to do the awards. Like, it's so eye-catching.
Oh my god,
so pretty. Yeah.
Our suits are also
Yes. So again, like reach out on Instagram and be like, I need to see this color suit, and because we're definitely,
I'll use all the help I can get, you know.
So Savannah and I are going to be working with Faith on perfecting it after she gets all our options. And so we would love your help with that, and reach out. You can even reach her at, what's your Instagram handle?
I think I'm ACBikinis Faith. I think that's my handle.
And we'll put that in the bio of this podcast.
Let me verify that.
And so I know it's recently new, but you post different suits that you're working on.
Yeah, I usually post like my little favorite ones that we've been working on.
There are so many interesting combinations, because I know like I walk around in production and some suits, they're all gorgeous, but some suits catch your eyes more than others. I'm like, okay, like this is a winner. Like,
sometimes I'm just like, whoa, let me look at that.
I know. And then we'll all put it on their Instagram pages. And so I know we'll both post about this podcast on our Instagram wall, and then comment in it what colors you would like to see, because I know we're going to do some different variation of shades. And so
not just like purple, pink. Like, we're gonna go a little in between.
And something like maybe on the matte teal, like maybe something in between that and blue, so it's more maybe like more of a true teal or something like that. So
all the options.
All the options. So is there anything that you want to end with?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. And so the alterations, like we went over, if there's like 3 weeks left, send it back. And you can even, if you're not for sure if you need the alteration, send a picture and we'll verify. And if it's the night before, don't Don't stress about it. If I can do it, I mean, anyone can do it.
Yes,
so
yeah.
it took me a second because I'm not used to it, but within 30 minutes it was complete. So
yeah, you can do anything you set your mind to.
Oh yeah,
right?
and so you can do it. So there's no need to add more to your cortisol levels and stress you out even more. So we've got you, and making sure you feel confident on that show day.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, and I think this is where we'll end it.
Yeah, I'd love to do another one with you.
Yeah. So, and also in those comments, like, what else do you want to hear from Faith? And we can do another podcast at another time. Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Okay.